Hi there, I'm Jordan Ganshorn, Chief of Operations with Results Marketing. And first of all, I would just like to say congratulations because at this point, if you're watching this video, you are a current client of ours. So good on you for taking action. And we're really excited to start driving some results to your business. And to do that, we need to make sure that everybody's on the same page with how everything works, especially when it comes down to our database or our CRM, right? And so in this video, I'm actually going to be taking you through step by step of what you guys are going to be responsible for on your end when it comes down to managing the leads or referrals coming in through the campaigns. So we're going to jump right into it. I should probably be able to wrap this up in about 5 to 10 minutes. And it's going to be really straightforward, cut and dry, to the point, and I promise you it's going to be painless. So let's just hop right into it here. I sent you an email after we had an onboarding call, and in that email, there would have been your login information for the CRM here. So password, email, and also the link to take you to this site. And so you're just going to grab that information. Keep in mind, if you don't want to keep that password, we can change that once we get access to the CRM. But for now, just use the one that I gave you. So we're just going to throw in. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like as soon as you log in. This is what we call your dashboard. Okay, this is what gives us a general idea of the performance of the campaigns in the sense of the opportunities that are coming in, as well as the overall value of your pipeline. I'll just move my picture up here. So we got your pipeline value, opportunities, conversion rate. Conversion rate is telling us out of the people that are coming in, how many are converting into actual clients or booked appointments, etc. If we scroll down a little bit, there is the funnel stage, and this is reflecting the opportunity section over here. This is what we call the opportunity section, and in there is a pipeline, and this is reflecting that. So this is the funnel, and at the top of the funnel, we have lead in, hot lead, appointment booked, reschedule, new client, and one. Now, keep in mind, your pipeline might look a little bit different. It just depends on what we're doing for you, but this is going to be the general idea of what it looks like down in here, right? So the lead comes in here, they go to hot lead if we're going to make contact with them later and they're not quite ready yet. If they book an appointment, they'll come further down the funnel here. If they need to be rescheduled, then we'll put them down here. If they turn into a new client, then they'll be way down here at the bottom of the funnel, right? So it just kind of funnels them all down to eventually turning that lead into a paying customer or client for you. So that's what this is all about. Now, after you're finished logging in, you can also come down to the settings here. So when you log in, you'll initially be over here in the dashboard, but when you come down to settings, you can actually adjust your password. So you would just put in the existing password that I gave you, put in the new password, confirm that password, and then just hit update. And that way you got your own unique password and login information for our CRM. And you can also come down here and make modifications to any of your personal data. I really hope that I got the first and last name right at least, but if you need to change that, by all means, go ahead. And then you would just hit update profile here. What I would really like to see done on your end is email signatures in here, because this is what's going to go out on every single email that we send out on your behalf to these leads. So it is important that we do have an email signature in there. It just customizes it, makes it look way better. And then once you do that, just hit save. And you can actually update your logo right here and put in whatever logo that you want to use. It doesn't matter, but it just gives your account kind of a nice personal touch. And yeah, so that's it for the setting side of it. Now I'd like to take you over to the opportunity section. This is really where you're going to get kind of a 40,000 foot aerial view on what's happening, right? So as the leads come in through our marketing campaigns, this is where they're going to end up. Right out of the gate, they're going to end up in the lead in section, okay? And now this is where our girls are going to be coming in, opening the card, and you can just click on it here. Just click, and we can see all of the information we need to know about that person right here. So their name, email, phone number, basically all their contact information. If they have a company name, it'll come in here. And what's really going to be beneficial to you is as we get these people funneled through and pre-qualified, they're going to end up in appointment booked. And our girls, when they're contacting these leads, they'll be leaving notes. Okay, so if you come and click on the notes section, you'll actually see what's been happening on the back end with us making contact with them and where they're at. Because we have our girls trained that anytime they try to make a contact with them, that they're coming in to leave notes of what happened, whether that be that they reached their voicemail, they made contact but they weren't qualified, made contact but they weren't quite ready to book an appointment yet. They had some things going on. So this is where you're going to be able to kind of keep an eye on that stuff. But really, at the end of the day, where it's the most important is when these people are actually booked in. So when our girls book the appointment, they go through the pre-qualifying process, these leads are going to end up over here in appointment booked. This is where on your end, it's really helpful to come in here, open these cards up by clicking on them and checking out the notes, seeing where they're at. Okay. Now let's say that the appointment's booked and you go to try to make a call, or the person doesn't show up for their appointment. So if they don't show up for their consultation or free strategy call, or if they don't show up at the office, all you need to do is literally come over here, open it up, make some notes, say need to reschedule, and save that note. And then our staff will actually see this. Okay, so make a note, update it, and then move this lead over to the reschedule stage. And this way, our girls, when they come in, they'll say, oh, we know that, or they know that they need to come in here and reschedule this person. They'll open this card up. They'll come look at the notes. Oh, need to reschedule. And you can be, the more elaborate you are, I mean, obviously, just for the purpose of this video, I'm trying to be a little bit quicker, but the more elaborate you are in these notes, the more helpful it is for us and our girls on the back end, because maybe we need to reschedule for, a specific reason, right? Like, let's say they had a family member pass away, right? So this would be helpful so we can show some compassion in the calls when we're going to reschedule that person. Hey, I heard about your aunt passing away. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Is there another time that might work better for you? Right? And it's more personal. So it's good to throw in and be detailed in your notes, because it just arms us going into the call, and vice versa, right? Like, we're going to be giving you elaborate notes in here as well. So when you do, come over to your appointment book section here and open these up, that where they're at. We're going to leave notes on and basically be answering the questions that we had talked about on the onboarding call. And you're going to have the answers that you need to be going into this call, right? So this is the best way and the most effective way to be communicating with our staff on the back end, is just through these little note sections. So I really can't stress that enough. And if they don't show, it's simple. You just click and drag them over to reschedule. And I also have some automation set up on the back end that if you move them over to the reschedule stage, there's going to be some emails that go out. There's going to be some text messages that go out. And we'll be going over those together to customize them on the proof of concept or on another meeting at some point before we go live. But basically what we're doing is sending out some automation text messages and emails and prompting them to find another time that's going to work with them in their schedules. Okay. And then on top of that as well, our girls are going to be calling to book them in and see what happened, if it was just a scheduling conflict or whatever. So this is kind of the area that you'll be hanging out in the most. The other area is down in scheduling. You come up and open up your calendar here. You're going to see all the appointments that are actually booked out for you right here, which is really helpful, because especially if we use Google, because our software can actually integrate and sync up with your Google Calendar, which is really cool because we don't, obviously it's not fun when we have overlap and double bookings and stuff like that. So the easiest thing we find is that on a meeting, whether this is at the proof of concept meeting or on another meeting, that we actually integrate your Google Calendar. And that way, anything on your end that you have scheduled is syncing up and showing here. So our girls on the back end know that they can or can't book an appointment, right? It's going to show the availability. So yeah, you just come in here. You can see what's going on for your week, or even drop this menu down and you can look at your month and just see what your schedule looks like, right? So if you have any questions about this, just let me know. But this is just a quick rundown, pretty straightforward and simple. Other than that, that's pretty much all you're going to be doing. Okay, so coming in here, seeing where you're at in terms of your schedule, seeing what appointments that you have, booked, or strategy calls or consultations, seeing what's up here, and then basically just managing, letting us know if they showed up. If they did, and they're a new client of yours, just slide them over here, new client. That's it. If they don't show up from appointment book, you're sliding them over here to reschedule. That's it, guys. It's very, very streamlined and straightforward. Again, I can't stress enough, just leaving us really good notes, because that is the best way for communication. The other thing I'd like to touch on is in the conversations window over here, you can actually see the messages that are going out to the leads as well. So if we look at me down here, you'll see that there's a bunch of different text messages and emails that have gone out, and you could actually text message them right from our software as well if you want to, right? Know that we're going to be doing this for you. Our girls on the back end are very well trained. They will be sending messages and phone calls and emails to these people to get them to book in, and staying on top of them. But let's say you just want to come in here and maybe you've seen a message that hadn't been answered yet, and you got a couple minutes to spare and want to throw a message. By all means, you can do that. Just come and click SMS. Hey, John, how are you? And obviously you're not going to say this, but I just wanted to show you. And if you hit send, boom, that's going to go right out to that person. Same thing if you wanted to do an email, you just hover over that, click it, put in your subject line here, your body, send, and it's going to go to that person. So it's pretty neat and a great way to be staying in contact with the leads as well, if you feel like it's necessary. But again, we will be doing this for you. Now, the other really cool thing that we can do is just to bring us back to the opportunity section. Let's say they do show up. It was a great call. They're a new client of yours, so you drag them over there. Now I can set it up a couple different ways. It really is just going to depend on how you want to do it. But with some clients, they like it that when we move them over here, that they go in kind of into a long-term nurture process. And what I mean by that is, like, every so often we can send out a text message or an email, or just asking them how they're doing, or asking them to leave us a review, which is really helpful because this helps improve our ratings on Google and even on our Facebook page, right? So we can set it up that as soon as you slide them over here, that say like a day or two later, or even a week later, a text message goes out saying, hey, I hope you had a great experience with us. If you did, can you please leave us a review on Google? And I'll just have your Google link in there. And so it all happens automatically. And that way we're stacking up your reviews, because we all know reviews are everything. So we really like this feature. The other way you can actually do it is the manual way. Is you can come and check in a client. So you just come over here, check in, and you would just start typing the name. And then you would see that the customer just automatically pops up because they're already in our system. So if you wanted to send a text message, you would do it this way. Okay, now you'll also see, if I were to just backspace out of this, you would also have the option to send an email. So you can do it one or the other. What I really recommend doing is sending the text message, because everybody always opens up their text messages, not necessarily their emails. So, and then you would just hit send a review invite, and then they would get that text message, like I mentioned before, prompting them to go and leave a 5-star review for you on Google if they had a great experience. So really neat. And actually our girls are trained up on how to do this as well. It really just depends on how you want to do it, right? Some clients like to do it, it takes a while. It can take, maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months. Let's say, if you're an attorney, it can take months to close on a deal, right? So we want to make sure that we're not sending these out too early. But yeah, other than that, that's it. So if you have any questions on how this works, if you need a little bit more clarity on something, go ahead and send me an email or even just a quick phone call. I'm usually kind of on the back end of this stuff all the time, and I'm like the nerd in the background that kind of makes all this technical stuff happen and manages, kind of overlooks your campaigns and everything. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.